Hey everybody, Erico here. Hope you guys are doing well. Remember to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, like this video if you want to see me talk about more topics pertaining to East Asian pop culture as well as other current events. Let's get into this murder. So this was a gruesome murder case that shook many people of Hong Kong because they haven't had something so gruesome happen for years. And then out of nowhere, a very popular social media influencer named Addy Choi is gruesomely murdered. And the way that she was found is not for the faint of heart. So this is a woman whose life seems picture perfect. She was well known for doing many different modeling gigs. She was at Paris Fashion Week. There are pictures of her with many different celebrities that are well known in Hong Kong. She just had everything figured out, her finances, where she wanted to be at such a young age, and many people looked up to her. She had over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and many people saw her as just a girl that was down to earth, but also was living out her dreams. So it all started for Abby at age 18. She met this man named Alex Kwan, and they decided to get married. They would end up having 2 children together at a young age, and her family, the Chois, and his family, the Kwans, were united. And in this union, Abby decided that she was going to fund a luxurious flat apartment for the Kwan so that they could live and live happily, and also so that her 2 children could live happily. Also, she brought on the oldest brother of the Kwan family named Anthony Kwan to be her chauffeur. And he drove her around. You can see multiple pictures on the internet of them together and seeming like they're just palling around having such a good time. And so she also eventually funded his own apartment. So everybody was happy, Abby is being the financial benefit of the Kwan family. And it's just like they're living a dream. So then a couple years go by, something went wrong, and Abby decides that she wants a divorce from Alex Kwan. Now, there are a lot of different details in this event. Some say that for what Abby did next, she was not actually completely divorced. Others say she was divorced, that she just ran and had a secret wedding. Nobody really knows. But she ended up having this secret wedding banquet with another man at the age of 22. He owns a slew of restaurant chains. He is well off. She gets married to him, and they eventually have 2 children. So she's happy. She goes on, she continues doing modeling. She continues to be more widely known. She's happy with her 4 kids. And meanwhile, her 2 kids that she had with Alex Kwan are still living with the Kwan family. So she continues to fund the luxurious flat for this family. And there's this big thing about her now because she's gotten to the point that she's a millionaire. She's made a whole lot of money at such a young age. And the Kwans do very much care about what she's doing with her money because they care about continuing to have the lifestyle that they have had. They have her 2 kids, and they want to make sure that they can use these 2 kids to continue to live this lifestyle of money and prestige. But then Addy Choi decides that she wants to start cutting ties. She is happy with her current husband. She's happy with her family-in-law. They seem to love her. Her new husband accepts all of her children. You know, they're basically saying, you all come over here, we'll all be a happy family, you do what you have to do. So she decides, you know what, I'm going to start cutting the Kwan family off. So she eventually tells them that I'm going to stop funding your apartment. So I'm going to stop funding Anthony Kwan's apartment. I'm going to stop funding your parents' apartment, whatever money she was giving to Alex Kwan as well. She's like, snip, 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 snip. We're done. It's over. So this causes a rage. And the Kwan family decides that they need to do something. They're about to lose their home. They're about to lose the lifestyle that they're so used to having. And the kids are not good leverage anymore. So the father of the Kwan family gets this bright idea. He's an ex-police officer. And he decides, you know what? I'm going to go out like I'm going kitchen shopping. I'm going to get a meat grinder, a saw. Going to get a refrigerator. And you know why I'm at it? Da, 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 da. Let's also rent our own little flat closer to mainland China's border. And you know, we're going to invite Abby over. Because we need, as a family, to talk to Abby about why she's cutting us off financially. Because we've been there for her. We've been there for her kids. And even though she's moved on, we feel we have a right to her hard-working money. So from there's surveillance footage of Abby being called over and filmed in a parking lot, meeting up with the family. And on the 24th of February, she went missing, and her husband, her current husband, didn't know where she was. His mother's looking for her. Her family also was looking for her, and they could not find her. They thought it was very strange that she would just up and disappear. She's very family orientated. She loves her friends, animals, and it's odd that she wasn't returning their calls and that she was unreachable just out of the blue. So it caused a lot of worry. And then eventually, in this flat near the mainland China border, in this neighborhood, at an oceanside flat apartment, the cops go in and they find a meat grinder that apparently had been used, a saw also, just with blood all over it. And they go and they see this mini fridge and they think, well, you know, maybe there's some type of animal in there, some type of meat from this animal that could have been carved and put in there. They open up the fridge and they do find something sliced up. It looks like something like a rib and the remains of arms and legs. And they soon find, to their horror, that these are human remains. So the police quickly goes into action and they find that these are the remains of Addy Choi, who had gone missing. But the horror gets worse. They turn and they look, and on the stove is a pot. They go over to the pot and they find Abby's head being boiled with vegetables, various vegetables. Her head had been boiled down to her skull. That's what had remained. So the police go from here and they start looking for the Kwan family. And they find the father, they arrest him. The mother claims she had nothing to do with it, but they still arrested her as well because they found that she knew the plan of what they had planned to do to Abby. So they took her in. Alex Kwan tried to get away on a boat. I don't know if he thought he was in one of those Hong Kong action movies from the 80s and 90s. He tried to get away. They chased him down and eventually arrested him. His older brother as well tried to escape by boat. I don't know if they called themselves catching the Wuhan rage and going, and just trying to like race over to mainland China. I don't know why they thought they were going to get away. They caught the older brother on a boat with his mistress, who later confessed that they were living in a flat together and that she was funding the flat and that she did know about the plan to kill Abby. So they took him into custody. This is just demonic and barbaric on so many levels. I don't know how they had the conscience to do this. I also think about Abby and how she was very content and confident. There's no way that after I decide that I'm going to divorce myself or cut ties with a family, that I'm going to still have said family members chauffeuring me around and being in my life. Once she decided that she was going to remarry, what she should have done was started cutting ties then. She should have cut ties. She should have moved her children with her. She should have said, if you want to see the children to her ex-husband, we can have visitation rights, however you want to do it. But she should have cut everything off with the family. When you decide you're going to divorce someone, you're divorcing the family too. And I know there are some cases where you do have a strong bond sometimes with the family, even though you may divorce, their child. You might still have some type of relationship with the parents, and it's still kind of awkward though, and these instances are so far in between, but she allowed this man to chauffeur her around. And she had no idea how sinister this family was. Her family had no idea how sinister they were. But this is also what happens when you come from a certain class and you marry into a class that's below you and you're not really sure if they're in it for the money and the prestige or if they're in it for you. It is sometimes so hard to tell, but it's very important that you pinpoint. Is this really like genuine love? Or are you just trying to use me for a free payoff? Because they murdered this girl. Not even cold blood. I mean, they dismembered her and tried to cook half of her body and store the other half away. Ugh. They did say that they found like her bank cards, and I assumed they were going to try to somehow go and take her money in some way, shape, or form. It seemed like this would be the whole point of this plan. It's very disturbing. And this is a lesson to everybody. You never truly know people. You never truly know what people are thinking. You never really truly know people's intentions. It's important that you tread lightly with some people and that you think, what if? And that if you're trying to get away from people, that you're surrounded by loved ones, people that will protect you, And that if it's something where someone's financially dependent on you and you know that you're trying to end it, maybe it's not a good idea to go and meet those people. Maybe it's not a good idea to be alone either, especially if you're a female. She was young. She had a very promising future. It is sad that she left this earth the way that she did. I'm just, I have no words. Just the pot situation in itself. And imagine being the police on duty and finding that. Whew, that's so sad. It is so sad. It's disheartening. You guys, be careful out here. There's some crazy, evil, demented people in this world. And you never truly know someone until sometimes it's too late. So you guys, it's a lot to think about. Put below how you feel about all of this that has happened. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also have a blog on East Asian pop culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you again. Put below how you feel.